Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, money, money, money. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, yeah. Money, 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 money. Yo, yo.
One for the money, two for the show, three for BMO, four for Crizzo. Going cool as a pillow, talking the other side. Other dudes talking tough, but them dudes don't ride. Rap is the X Games, I'm Sean White. Last chick tried to bluff, told her good night. Grown man here, ain't got no time for games. You Murray talking this? Yeah, I'm kinda insane. Wife, you know I'm just playing. Steve a monkey with balls. Lame, stay out my lane, cause I ain't from over y'all. Got the money on my mind, loud in my lungs. Success is the ladder, I ain't missed one rung. Hip hop, rap, rock, suburb, slums. Hood,
So I wanted you guys to keep in mind that everything that we're going to talk about here tonight, you are active participants. So I see everybody's name that's on the line, so everybody's going to take part. The only way for us to learn in an environment is through inclusion, okay? So even if I don't call on you, what I want you guys to do is to grab a pen and a sheet of paper and do your best to try to answer any questions or anything that comes across. Because the more you understand, the better you're able to realize the amount of money that's in front of you. And also, you have the ability to teach others who come behind you. Okay? So that's the disclaimer here. Everyone participates. Okay? First thing we're going to do is we're going to discuss the history of the CV Club pretty quick so that you understand where it came from and the purpose of it. The second is we're going to talk about how it works. That's kind of important. All right. And the last part, we're going to go through what did you learn. We're going to do a real quick lesson to make sure that the information that was given to you was absorbed and you can actually apply it. The Customer Club wasn't actually started by Platinum Senior Vice President Camilla Mullen. She was the one who spearheaded it and put it into life. She actually did a presentation, I believe it was on the vitamin call. And it was such a great call. It was a buzz. Everybody was talking about it. And a few of the SVPs actually reached out to her and said, listen, you know, we got to make this bigger than just a call. This shouldn't be something that people hear on a training call and then forget tomorrow. We got to put some life into this. We got to really make it explode or do the best that we can to share it with everybody and try to generate that momentum. Now, this was back in 2017. And so the purpose of the drive of getting this going was to give people a visible and attainable goal. Because at that time, we were still recovering from some shenanigans and stuff that happened in the past. And we were trying to generate some push, some flow, get some money into people's pockets and make people excited about the whole process of, you know, making money. So this created momentum, and it created so much momentum that at the next nationals, honestly, and now this is just my opinion. I'm not saying that this is fact, but just from what I could see, that the push to get everybody into the customer clubs, in my opinion, saved the company. Because when Nelson Gerard first saw how many people that were coming up on stage getting the customer club award, mind you, the line went out of the auditorium. It was huge. It was massive. And I think this was the first spark that made Nelson realize, you know, this whole networking thing could work. And you could just see it on his eyes. He was just astonished as to how many people got up, got recognized for being in the club. So the importance of this is not only the money for the individual. I mean, that's what we showcase. That's what we promote. When you get into the club, it is a real big deal. And Camilla actually still does the verification when you hit the club. She does the banners and allows, you know, access to that so that you can put on Facebook and share it with everybody. And it is important for you guys to let everybody know that you're in the club. It's significant because we want that to actually trickle down to everybody, because everybody has access to this. Everybody can do it. And when people see you doing it, when they see other people in your organization doing it, it gives them permission to start dreaming and to say, then maybe I can do it. And so when that mindset is attached to everybody, then everybody wins by being in the club, obviously with the money that we're going to talk about, but it also is a good thing to do, a good tradition to have within your organization, because as your organization, you and your organization start to get into the club, then you're going to start to multiply the factor of the residual income that you will earn. And that's really the key, because if you have an organization of, say, 5 people and they're in the club, you're going to make a pretty good return. But if you have 500 people in your organization in the club, I'm not even going to do the numbers for that, but let's just say you're hitting Tupac numbers when you start doing that. So it is very significant in order for us to not only understand it, adopt it, be in it, because people only follow what you do and not what you say. It also gives them and your entire organization permission to achieve this level of success. Okay, so the customer club has 3 times the fun, because the customer club pays 3 different ways. The club payouts of $250, $500, and $1,000. And we're going to get into the other 2 in a second, but I just wanted to cover what everybody should know, because this is in our presentation. There's the $250 commission value club, the $500 commission value club, and the $1,000 commission value club. Now, as you see from the presentation, $250 commission value club pays $1,000 a month. The 500 commission value pays $250 a month, so long as you're in that club. And the 1,000 commission value club pays out $500. Now, there's also that other section on the side that says potential residual retail profit. We're going to get into that in a second, but let's just follow this as we pace through. Okay, so everything that I'm going to talk about here tonight relates to documents that are in your back office or in the my.5links.com. So just so that you guys know where to find these docs, if you want to write this down, if you don't already know, obviously go to my.5links.com and click on the docs section with the plus. Okay. The second thing, once you do that, you're going to go to the compensation and rep kits section. And then once you're there, at the bottom, I believe this is on the last page. It says product points, commission value, and qualifying points document. Okay, that's for pretty much everything, not only oxygen, but also everything else that we do with all of our other products and services is found in that location. Okay. And then also, you would want to download the product tier price options that's in the oxygen section. So I actually don't have a screen for that, but if you go to the documents menu on the right side that you see there, if you scroll down, there's a section called oxygen. You click on that, and then you can find that product tiered price option. Okay, you're going to see some of those documents come up as we do the presentation. Okay, hold on for a second. Okay, so this is the product service commission and point details document. Good Lord, that's a mouthful. We call that document 715. So every product and service has a commission value. We call that the CV. All right, and we're going to get into that in a second. So as we relate to this, since we're all focused on the oxygen CBD line, and that's pretty much what the majority of people are doing, we're going to focus on that tonight. Okay, so I know this document here is the document that we spoke about before, but let's just zoom it in so that you guys can see it a little better. All right, so is there anybody who's not familiar with this document on the line? I'll take by your silence that everyone's familiar. Okay, so this is really what we're going to be using tonight. So the commission value, I want you to understand that as it relates to CBD, the commission value, to find out what the commission value is for any one of the products, you take 25% of the wholesale rep only value. Okay, so the wholesale rep only value for this is $89.95. So if you take 25% of that, that's $22.49. That is the CV for the 1,500 milligram tincture. All right. Now, that commission value that you have there, the $22.49, if you personally sold that 1500 milligram tincture, then that amount, the $22.49, which is your CV, goes into the CV club. So what you do is you take that $22.49 and subtract it from the $250 because that's the first club, the $250 club. Now you have $227.51 remaining until you're in the club. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Okay, awesome, great. Okay, so as we said, 3 times the fun. The CV club pays 3 different ways. The club payouts that we spoke about before, the 250, 500, and 1,000. So obviously, as you hit the $250 club, the next tier would be the 500 club. You do that the exact same way. All of your products that you have, all your products and services goes towards that. The CV goes towards that club. Now, what we're going to talk about here is the residual bounty. This is the second way that we get paid. So the residual bounty is basically taken by the profit that you make from the wholesale rep only price and the difference between the retail price, provided that you sold that product at retail. Obviously, if you sold it at the preferred price, then you would have to take the difference between wholesale and preferred. But in this example, it's the difference between wholesale and retail. Now, it's not exactly that difference because we receive 93% of that wholesale versus retail price. Okay? So whatever that difference is between those two prices, as you can see here, wholesale price $89.95, the retail price of $129.95. The difference between those two multiplied by 93%, the residual bounty is $37.20. Okay, does that make sense to anybody? Is that good?
Yes.
Anybody confused? Great, man, you guys are a great audience. Okay, so as we spoke, club payouts, residual bounty, man, this call's going fast. Last one is monthly CV residuals, okay? So let's go to the 1500 milligram tincture as we spoke before. The estimated earnings for that is $22.49, okay? So that $22.49, your monthly residual commission for that is multiplied by whatever your position percentage is, okay? So as we know, an executive trainer is at 12%. That's the 10% for the IMR plus the 2% for ET. You get both, provided that you are the one that sold that item, okay? So $22.49 times 12% is $2.69. Now, this is one of the reasons why your leaders always wants you, is helping you to get promoted, because as you get promoted, you make more money for doing the exact same thing. So an executive director is 15%, okay? That's $22.49, same item, times 15%. Now you're making $3.37, okay? National directors make 25%. That's $22.49 times 25%. That's $5.62 that you make at national director. And senior vice president is 45%. So 45 times 22.49 is $10.12. So you see there's a big difference between the $2.69 at ET and $10.12 at SVP. Why do you think all of the SVPs are out there getting customers themselves? There's a lot of money in this, okay? All right, so this is where we got that from. Now keep in mind, remember we said the ET gets 12%? How I got that was the 2% from here. And mind you, this is on your residual commissions on personal team sales, okay? That's 2% plus the 10% because you personally got that item. So you get the ET and the IMR percentage. So just the easiest way to figure this out is whatever position you are, just count that percentage plus all of the other percentages to your left, which is why it's always great to get promoted to the right so that you earn everything from the right to the left once you've earned that position. So executive trainer gets 12% of what they personally sell. An executive director would earn 3% plus 2% plus 10% for a total of 15%. Okay?
Okay.
So what do you get at national director? Anybody want to speak up?
20.
20%?
25%.
25%? Anybody else? Any other numbers?
20.
20? Okay.
No, 10, 20.
10%?
25.
25.
25? Okay.
25.
The right answer is 25%.
Yeah.
Now, the way that we got that number, if you're a national director, remember, no matter what your position is on the right side, you get that percentage, the 10%, plus everything to your left. So that's the 10% plus the 3% plus the 2 plus the 10 for a grand total of 25%. That makes sense?
Yeah.
Cool. So let's do a quick test to see if any of you retain that information. So if you were an executive director and you personally sold one intense relief rub, how much goes to the CV club? And I will give you this document to work with.
$12.49.
$1.49 I hear?
$12.49.
Oh, $12.49? Anybody have another number?
1750.
$17.50? Anybody else? Okay, so we got $12.49 and $17.50. And just remember, how much goes to the CV club as an executive director? Okay. The answer is $12.49. So congratulations to whoever got that right. All right. Who actually got the right number?
That's Kendall.
Kendall. Kendall, explain to us how you got that number.
It's on the charts, right? Everything right here is what you get from the CV. It goes to the CV.
So
Everything on estimated earning.
Okay, so show me where you got that number.
On an intense relief rub, if you go all the way across to the right, under estimated earning, it's $12.49.
Perfect. Exactly. That's pretty simple, right?
Yeah.
Excellent. Excellent. You are absolutely correct. Okay, so the next question is, if you're still an ED and you personally sold one intense relief rub, how much do you get in residual bounty? That's the amount of money that you get right up front. Oh, sorry. Now remember, for the intense relief rub and for anything, it's the wholesale price minus the retail. Or actually the retail minus the wholesale, sorry.
$20.
$20, okay.
I agree.
Okay, anybody else? Okay, I take it by the silence that we're gonna stick to $20. Okay,
1860.
1860.
Anytime 93%.
Yeah.
That is absolutely correct. I thought I could trick you. Very good. 1860. So who said 1860?
That was me, Tillman. It's Mark.
Mark, what's going on, Mark? Okay, so explain to everybody why it's 1860 and not $20.
because it's times 93%. You got to factor in, I guess, the shipping.
Well, step us through from beginning to end. How you got to that number?
I listened to my teacher, and he said 93%.
That's funny.
Well,
No, but I
Tillman,
think you factor in the shipping and everything, right?
Yeah, I'm not putting that into this. Yeah, we're not getting into microscopic details. We just want to get the idea of where those numbers come from.
isn't
I
it
just did
69.95 minus 49.95 times 93%?
That
I
is
just
correct.
did 93% of $20. Yeah.
Yeah.
That is correct. That is correct.
Mhm.
Okay. Now, last question before we get into anybody else's questions. If you were an ED, you personally sold one intense relief rub, how much in monthly commission value residuals do you get? And I will give you the sheet again. I wish I had Jeopardy music playing. That would be kind of cool. I got to do that the next time.
Intense.
And we're looking for the residual bounty?
We're looking for the residual commission, not the bounty, not the bounty, the commission, the amount that you make. And I'll give you a hint based on the percentage of your position.
Oh.
Is it
$2.
$2.79?
I hear $2.79. Anybody else?
$3.
$3. Okay. Anybody else? Just so you know, it's okay to try and get it wrong. I'd rather you get it wrong in class than get it wrong when you're trying to explain it to a rep.
We're going to try 1049.
1049?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Anybody else? Okay. Now, let's do the survey said. $1.87.
Yeah.
Somebody got $1.87?
Yeah, I did. That's Dwayne.
Wayne, my goodness. Run to the front of the class. Okay, explain to us how you got $1.87.
Well, the CV is 25% of the wholesale value.
Okay.
And then you multiply that result by 15%.
And you got the 15% from, hold on, let me see if I can get to this.
So $49.95 times 25% is equal to $12.49.
Okay.
And then the ED position is 15%
Of that number.
And so that gives the $1.87.
Perfect. Does everybody get that? You actually have to do two multiplications there. One to find out what the CV is, okay? 25% of that number. And then once you know what the CV is, then you take your percentage of your position. So if you're an ED, you get 15%, as we see here. That's 3% at ED plus the 2% at ET plus the 10% at IMR for a grand total of 15. Multiply that by the CV, and that's what you get on a monthly basis, provided obviously that customer is acquired every month. Okay?
Subscription.
What's that?
A subscription order.
There you go. That's right. A subscription. That's the best way to do it.
I
Okay.
think I need, Tillman.
Yes.
I think I need this chart we're looking at now, residual commissions on the personal and team sales in front of me to, when you ask the question, to go to. And
Oh yeah. You know what? You're right. You're right. I just assumed that everybody had that. That's my fault. I should have put that up on the sheet.
my fault for
Okay.
not having it. No, not yours. You're here in front of us doing it.
I will make sure that the next time I do this, I have both of those charts up. But you are absolutely correct. You do need this in order to answer that last question. That is correct. Okay, so with everything that we went through tonight, I know that we went through a little bit of math. It almost felt like night school with residual commission class. But does anybody have any questions as it relates to the customer club information we shared with you guys tonight? And we went through a lot tonight.
So, Tillman, this is Dwayne. So just recapping, so we get the customer club that we get the $100 for the 250, the 250 for the, and so we get those levels, then we get the commission value, and then the residual bounty, correct?
Get all three of those. That's correct.
All three of those. Okay, good.
Yes, indeed.
Thank you.
Now the importance of this, the reason why this is so significant is not just for the individual that achieves that. However, what we do when somebody does achieve it is we share it with the world and put you on a pedestal and throw virtual confetti at you, because we want everybody to celebrate your success, because we all know how excited it is when we get one customer. All right, my wife goes out of her mind when she gets a customer, and just she's happy for the whole day. All right, it is just absolutely fantastic. So for us and for anybody to get into the customer club, that is a significant achievement. And so for anybody that gets into that club, you want to make sure you go out of your way and congratulate them. If they have a customer club t-shirt and they're in the customer club, let them know from you that, you know, that's a tremendous achievement at the 250, 500, or the 1,000. Okay, but the importance of this is to not only achieve it yourself, which allows for people in your organization to believe that it's possible, but also to set the trend or the culture for your organization, because you don't want to be the only one in the customer club. You want everybody in your organization in the customer club, because for one, it pays them very well. For two, they get the recognition, but for three, you get the residuals over all of the activity that they do as well as the person that is the leader of the club. Okay? So there's actually really a hidden 4 ways that you get paid, but only if you have a team. Okay? So you get, you know, all 3 of those personally, but as your organization grows and all gets into the club, your residuals on your entire organization goes through the roof. Okay? I can't express that any harder, but it is very, very significant for not only you to be in the club, but to share that culture, because that's where you're going to get the comma checks in abundance at the end of, you know, on the 15th of each month. This is how it's done. But also getting those customers on auto ship as well solidifies that, so you're not always out there doing the, you know, the hunting the entire time. Okay. Excellent. Okay, so before we end the call tonight, does anybody have any questions related to anything that we talked about here?
Hello, Tillman. Is this presentation, are you going to put this up?
Yes, and unfortunately, since I don't have everybody's email address, I'm going to put it, you know what, everybody who's on the line right now, I'm going to post it in my Tillman Doe link in YouTube. So if you go to YouTube and just search for Tillman space Doe, you'll get to my page and it will be one of the top items up there. It's going to take me about probably half an hour for this to compile and for me to get it up there, but you know, just keep a lookout on my page on YouTube and you'll see the link for tonight's presentation. Okay?
Thank you, Tillman.
You're welcome. You're welcome. And Nicole Senior Vice President Nicole D'Iorio, thank you for asking me to do this presentation to support not only the team, but everybody else who hopped on the call. Nicole, did you want to say anything before we end it?
Absolutely. I so appreciate you and Lisa. I mean, you guys just lead from the front. Your teamwork is amazing to me. I'm blessed and honored. I don't know what I did to have business partners such as you, but I'm grateful for whatever it was. And you guys are just such great people. So thank you again. I deeply appreciate everybody who jumped on tonight. I hope that this added value to you. It added value to me. And I just really want to wish you, Lisa, and your family a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. And whatever you need, just let me know.
Man, you're good at this. That was beautiful. Well, thank you everybody for joining the call tonight, and appreciate you. And hopefully you'll take something from this and be able to share it with others, grow your organization, grow your residuals, and grow the company. For myself, Senior Vice President Tillman Doe and Senior Vice President Nicole D'Iorio, have a blessed evening and an extremely productive week. Take care.
You have the same.
Thank you.